Welcome everybody to the regular scheduled meeting of the City of Griffin Board of Commissioners. Thank everybody for coming out and being a part of this city business tonight. We will have the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Ward and the invitation by Commissioner Holberg.
Please take the flag.
Please join me in prayer. Father, we are here today to ask for your blessings and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just for the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
I went by that clock. All right, we have a good crowd here tonight, so we get to start it off on a fun note with our presentations and delegations. First, we'll recognize Daniel Cowles, firefighter with... Oh, I'm sorry. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion and second. All those in favor, please raise your hand. All right, now we'll get into it. Recognize Daniel Cowles, firefighter with the fire department, as the November 2014 Strongest Link Award recipient.
Good evening, Commissioners. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight, and it's such an honor to recognize Daniel Cowles as this month's Strongest Link. It is an honor to be able to recognize a Strongest Link who we know for a fact has saved the lives of our children in the community. One of the things that Daniel has done, he's taken over our car seat program. This program was started years ago as our department began running more and more car wrecks. We were able to make assessments about the status of the safety of our children. Number one, were they being properly restrained? And number two, did the parents know how to put the car seats in the car? Battalion Chief Roger Slaughter started the program several years ago in which we were able to develop a huge inventory of car seats and assist low-income citizens with getting a free car seat. But also we became a drop-off point and a station where people could bring their car seat, their child in their car, and we could actually show them how to install that seat. When Chief Slaughter's wife fell ill and passed away, Firefighter Cowles took over this program and has done such an outstanding job with it. But he's the one, I'm sure you get the calls all the time about who actually does that. Well, he's the guy you want to see about it. Just come by fire station number 2, and he can show any citizen how to properly install a car seat. And he runs that program, and we know he has saved the lives of many children who have been involved in accidents. And also, this year, Daniel has taken over our toy drive for us, too. So he's an outstanding guy, and we are so pleased to recognize him as our Strongest Link of the month. And, Daniel, we have a plaque for you and a gift certificate for you to take someone to eat. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Daniel's opted not to have a speech.
Right. Gotta wear it. All right, thank you, Mr. Cole. Okay, guess we'll stay on up there because next we'll recognize the 2014 Leadership Development Institute graduates.
Commissioners, it is a pleasure to present to you Class 6 of our Leadership Development Institute. As you are well briefed on this, several years ago, Mr. Smith approached Mr. Neville and I about putting together an internal program that is basically an ascension program with several goals. One of those goals is to, first of all, recognize who our future leaders will be here in the city of Griffin and now with Spalding County. Second of all, we wanted to actually give them some tools to put in their toolbox to help them on their leadership journey. We advertised among our employees and the county employees, and we started our journey back in the late summer. It was a 12-week program that they all dedicated themselves to. And some of the things we studied were team building, basic leadership, managing marginal employees, human resources issues, career guidance, personality profiles and leadership styles, public speaking, goal setting, branding, and financial management. And I'm happy to report to you another outstanding group of people. We had a full house of city employees, plus 6 of our friends from Spalding County came. We had a great time. They did an outstanding job, and we're going to recognize them tonight at their graduation. So, Mr. Neville, all yours, sir.
Okay. Hi, y'all.
Doing well. Hey.
Almost Merry Christmas.
Yep.
I'm not going to call you out in the order you're here, so just listen for your name and come on up and get yours, and then you can just stand right over here if you would, please. First is Marvin Grant from the Street Department. Next is Brian Nichols from the golf course. Ryan Tolan from water distribution. Stafford Starling from the electric department. Leslie Taylor from customer service. Josh Parham from the electric department. Chance Grammer, electric department. Gary Slayton from the motor pool. Then we've got Brandon Gates from the fire department. Mark Saporita from the fire department. Josh Ridgway, fire department. Benji Barlow, fire department. Let's see, Daniel Jett I'd like to recognize but is not here tonight. Now let's get to our friends from Spalding County. First we have Latressa Ferguson from 911. Then we have Wendy Law from the Human Resources Department. Lauren Brown from Parks and Recreation. And Lee Slaughter from the Fire Department. And Robbie Milner from Parks and Recreation and Keith Bradford are not here tonight. This is your group. Thanks, y'all.
Congratulations. They can.
If y'all wouldn't mind, I'd like to say thank you to Chief Tommy Jones
Miles, who were the main instructors for the program? Was it you and Chief Jones?
Let's see, we have Marcia McIntyre, who was, I don't have my list in front of me, who was Deputy Director of Probation Operations for the state.
Mm-hmm.
We had Jeffrey Knighton, who's a professor at Gordon College. Tanya Moore, who was a professor at Gordon College. We had Brent Huckabee, who's Vice President of First Bank of Pike. We had Chris Leidy, who is a former police chief for City of Morrow. And Ashley Green, Liberty Technology. Mr. Smith did a presentation on dealing with the boss from hell. And it's a great presentation. And then Tommy and I had a day as well.
Great. Thank you for doing that. Where'd everybody go? I guess we'll just leave, or. All right. Well, we do have this exciting part, the October financials. So I don't know what that meant, Marcus.
Yes, sir. They knew it was coming, so I have a reputation. Anyway, let's go ahead and review the cash balance report. If there are any questions. Okay. Now, if I can get my device to work here, that
My
would be
device
nice.
is not working at all. It won't even stay on now, so once the tech left,
It
the
left
power
too.
left as well.
All right, then if there are no
I have a
questions on,
question.
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
I said, I have to trust your figures are right because I can't see them.
Well, maybe we can put them up on the board. Is that on the screen? Or?
If we're okay, we'll.
All right.
Yeah,
Moving
just
on
go
to the.
ahead and go with what you got.
Okay, local option sales tax. We're at 34% of collections for the lost, which exceeds expectations there by about 2%. And obviously, we have no collections right now from SPLOS.
Yeah, looking good.
All right. Next item. We do have a report there for the SPLOS projects. If you have questions specifically about a particular project, we can entertain some questions with Dr. Keller, because he's basically over those projects. Sorry, beep, beep, beep. Hearing none. The interim statements by fund. Any questions on revenues or expenditures for the year so far?
Guess you got your big November check.
Yes. That's all that stuff's coming in now. So we received the financial institutions tax, the premium tax, and now December we're looking for the property tax numbers to come in.
Franchise check come in.
I have to verify that. I thought it did. We're going to be running November numbers Friday, so Monday we'll have a better idea as to exactly what's in. We're still posting entries. All right, and then last but not least, we have another rendition this year of our popular annual financial report for the closing of the fiscal year 2014. And I have, you have before you a hard copy of it. And in January or so, we're going to have an official printed version. This is just a temporary document for your review. If you have any questions, I'll entertain those. And if you have any suggestions for improvement or would like to see something else added or moved around, let me know that too. We can definitely change or improve the report as you recommend.
Okay. Yeah. It's pretty. So far, even though it's not final print form. Does anybody have any questions for Marcus?
No, I like the financials with no surprises.
As do I, sir, yes.
Boring is good.
Yes, and depends. It depends on whether, well, I'll stop.
Boring in the financials is good.
All right, thank
All right,
you.
thank you. All right, next we'll move on to citizen comments. At this time, the chairperson opens the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item not listed on the agenda for a public hearing or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff or resolutions. Do I have anyone that would like to come forward and address the board? All right. And we will move on to public hearings where we have one public hearing to receive comments to amend the Unified Development Code of Griffin at Article 2, Interpretations and Definitions, to enact a new Section 203, Reasonable Accommodations Policy, establishing a process for persons with disabilities to request reasonable accommodation from land use, zoning, and development regulations in order to have an equal opportunity to enjoy housing.
Two comments to be with us tonight because of another conflict. But if you have any questions, this was covered in the workshop last
Right.
night.
Do we have any questions before we open it up to public comment? All right. Okay, this is a public hearing. If anybody would like to come forward and speak on this topic, please do so. All right, if not, if nobody has any other questions for Drew, we will move on to the consent agenda.
Chair, no objection. I move we approve the minutes of the workshop and the minutes of the regular meeting on November 25th.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes, please raise your hand. And one abstention, so 5-0. All right, going into the regular agenda, we will consider a request to amend the Unified Development Code of Griffin at Article 2, Interpretations and Definitions, to enact a new Section 203, Reasonable Accommodations Policy, establishing a process for persons with disabilities to request reasonable accommodations from land use, zoning, and development regulations in order to have an equal opportunity to enjoy housing.
Excuse me, forgive me saying that I move that we approve the amendment as presented.
Okay, I have a motion to approve and a second. Any questions or comments?
Does the federal law supersede anything that's taken place before our adoption on this?
Supersede?
Yeah, like I think or Kenny knows, I have a situation in the district where someone has created a nursing home in one of the subdivisions and has 24-hour care. And the residents are upset because of the parking situation, and in fact, code enforcement has been out there. Chief Strickland has attended to it, but they're covered, so it means they can do anything they want to do. I mean, they can park on both sides of the street, in the middle, and everywhere else, and nobody else can get through.
Sounds like what you've got is basically more than just a what I'll call a personal care home. Licensed by the state, a true nursing home, providing a higher level of care.
Right, they're providing 24-hour care for 4 people in this home. And they change shifts.
Establishing a process so that persons with disabilities will know how they go about seeking a future accommodation.
As I understand, these are all bedridden, so therefore it's more like a nursing home. So I was just curious.
Yeah, I'm not aware of that situation, but it sounds like it. So I don't think, this should not have any application.
So we could investigate, send code enforcement out to check it again?
I'm sure we could, yes.
Okay. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay. All right, are there any other questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Next, we'll consider approval of a consolidated bulk buy for the purchase of 59 PCs from Dell Computers on Georgia State contract. The IT equipment will be purchased under the city's lifecycle management program in the amount of $44,088.82.
Ask a question before
All right.
these are, oh, hi, Jack. These are generic sort of computers. Can none of our local computer companies come close to competing here?
We have basically gone and deal directly with Dell when all the other vendors have to go through Dale to compete. I've done several different RFPs as far as going out and getting quotes. No one's ever been able to meet Dale's quotes. And also, let me say this, in the business that we've done through Dale Computing, they have done things for the city that other vendors couldn't possibly do when it comes to exchanging equipment at no cost to the city. I could give you example after example of savings that we've really had from Dale. It's not that I like Dale products that much. It's just that they do make a good product. They stand behind their product. And literally, they've helped us in times that other vendors would charge us. I've had this with other vendors that I've used. Warranty would roll around, and they would actually not stand behind the warranty so much. They'd find reasons why they wouldn't have to stand behind the warranty. Would have to come and pay addition to the warranty, whereas Dale didn't question it. I mean, they just come in and they've replaced laptops for us that they didn't need to replace. They just stand behind the product.
Okay, so, Jeff, my real question is, I think you've answered it. The other local vendors have all had a shot at this, a fair shot.
I have, yes, sir.
They've had a fair.
We have Lenovo,
Okay.
we have HP, we have Dale. I've thrown them out there, and the bottom line is when we deal directly with the manufacturer, and we're not dealing with the reseller, it's hard for the reseller to make a profit and deal the way that Dale has really worked with us on pricing. And also think of it this way. We have a common enterprise made up of a common desktop. We're able to intermingle those parts. We're able to maintain those. They've been very stable, so it gives us the ability to do better with what we got. Instead of having, I got 20 HPs out here, I got 30 Lenovo's over there, I got 40 Dells over here. It just makes it very difficult to put an enterprise together and it function without a lot of overhead. And I want to point something else, since it's brought up. One thing that we do not do, that most of the time, a lot of, I know in the past, I've seen it happen from my previous career, I do not replace systems. What you see here is we replace strictly the CPUs. We maintain the same monitors. We maintain basically the same equipment as much as we can, and we only replace those items when they wear out. But the CPU, the desktop, is the most critical for hard drives, memory, processing power. So what you're seeing is we're not going out there and throwing all that money at a complete change out of a system. We're changing out the engine, but we're keeping the core basic equipment around it. And that's also an advantage as well.
In that case, Mr. Chair, I move to approve the purchase of these 59 PCs at the quoted price.
I second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any other questions for Jack? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous. Next, we'll consider approval of a lease with Yamaha Motor Corporation USA Commercial Customer Finance for 55 new 2015 EFI Yamaha golf cars, gas drive equipped as specified in the attached proposal dated October 26, 2014, for use at the Griffin City Golf Course, including 2 free-use loaner cars. Pursuant to the Yamaha trade-in program, all 55 2012 cars will be exchanged for these new cars. The lease is designated as a tax-exempt issue for 2014. However, payments will be made in the years 2015 through 2018, and the total annual obligation of $39,930 plus reimbursement of ad valorem taxes. Dr. Keller will address it.
Make a motion to approve.
A motion and a second. Any questions for Dr. Keller? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand.
Chief, you sign the document?
Yes. Next, we'll consider approval of a telecommunication tower lease with Verizon of the East LP commencing January 1st, 2015 for a telecommunication tower site on the premises of the Griffin Police Department, West Poplar Street, with access easement and substantially the form attached hereto.
I move we approve the contract.
I have a motion and a second. A motion and a second.
Chief, I don't know how you got this much you got a good city attorney. He handled all of that.
Actually, being a member of the GMS telecommunications group,
Let's don't give
Pass
Drew
the
any
buck.
credit.
we pay annual dues to them as part of our duties that we
I'm
pay
not
them
giving
when
Drew
we
any.
negotiate things like this. And even that cost of that consultant negotiation will be paid for by
I know, I was stunned. I'm dealing with what.
Oh,
moment
Mr.
I
Perry,
picked
I
up
get-
that number, I'm just shaking my head.
I think his name's Mr. Perry, is that correct?
Griffin.
Friend,
And that's why it's taken us a year to do.
gone back and forth a lot.
What's the height, maximum winds?
1,500. Are you talking about the tower itself?
Tower.
80 foot.
Well, my hat's off to you. I think this is an incredible, price for this lease that we're getting, so.
We're also allowed tower space at some point if we need it or want it, free of charge.
All right. Any other comments or questions? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous.
Show us the money.
We'll look at going, having approval of entering executive session pursuant to OCGA section 50-14-3 for the purpose of deliberating and discussing the evaluation of personnel. We get a motion to approve this, and then we'll have comments before we go in.
I move that we approve.
Have a motion, do I have a second? All right, all those in favor, please raise your hand. And if we want, unanimous, if you want to go ahead and knock out the comments.
Yes, sir, I have, two announcements. Our board finalists are underway. They've been advertised, so we have, this particular evening for the second. We have our list available for their comments. And then, for several weeks up until that first meeting. We have a meeting Friday morning at 7:30, a breakfast meeting with Senator-elect Carbon. And I need to know how many
This
people
Friday,
can
right?
get, so I can.
This
Friday morning?
That's this Friday at 7:30. What we're looking for about 10.
It's in here, Richmond.
Depending on how many people, it may be a conference room.
So 7:30 on Friday.
7:30 a.m. and we'll have the breakfast.
I'm gonna make a comment. Those of you who have not met Senator Harper, he's a very intelligent, well-educated gentleman, speaks very well, but I have the feeling he doesn't appreciate cities by knowing the details of what we deal with at the state. So this is, I think, a pivotal part of the administration. So I think he needs to know much better who we are and what we are and what we're dealing with. And so I hope you all can make it.
Kenny, you put the general format in there, because you're going to basically have departmental type presentations rotating through, or just a general conversation?
Just a general introduction to the city and then some specific items, some of our water issues that we're facing and, state regulations, and give them an update on where we are with the airport and talk about transportation issues.
He agreed to come down, but he has to be back in Peachtree City for a meeting at 11. So he's gotta leave here at 10, so we aim for a
besides losing the SPLOST and the loss of Officer Jordan this year, it has been an unbelievably great, successful year. I want to thank everyone for their efforts. And to echo what everybody says, we are truly going to miss Miss Judy. She can bring light to a dark, dreary day and bring a smile and a word of encouragement. And we will definitely miss Miss Judy. And God bless you and everything you do.
Okay, we have lots of exciting things happening in our community. I'm really preaching to the choir here, but I hope all of you will start getting excited about the airport because it is here. It is a reality, and what the difference it's going to make in this community in the next 5 to 10 years is immeasurable. And also today we had the groundbreaking for the Oakset Park Point on Meriwether Street, the first of 3 building units that will be built, an investment of $16 million in a community of 23,000 people. And the speaker was quick to point out that in Atlanta, if they get $40 million for 1.2 or 3 million people, they make a really big deal of it. So $16 million invested in Griffin, Georgia is something that is exciting, and it's going to change that corridor. And again, we have so many wonderful things beginning to come together, and it takes time for all these things to come together. And as Doug said, last year we were pushing forward. We knew these days were going to come, but we didn't think they could come soon enough. I echo everything everybody has said about Judy. She has saved my neck more than once. She has put me in rooms when I didn't make a reservation at the right time, and she's kept us doing our job and doing it well. And when Kenny's not here, Judy's the go-to person to solve all of our problems, and I thank you, Judy. I know Teresa will be good, but she's got big, big footsteps to follow in, I want to tell you. So we will miss you, and good luck.
Yeah. Make it hard when you laugh.
I'm really excited about what went on over at Meriwether today, the Oakset Park Point, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank our board for the collaboration, the support, and everything that the city's been able to do for that development. The developer and the Housing Authority Board sends their thanks to the city, and has said that a lot of things that have been done would not have been as easy had it not been for our cooperation and support. And Judy, leave your number so when I get ready to do my campaign finance disclosures, I'll know exactly where you are.
You could still be registrar.
Yeah, we could make
you
an
could
extra
still
money.
be that.
And I thank you for being a friend. And when I want to call and talk about somebody, even Kenny, you listen. You don't have to talk about him. Just let me vent. I thank you, and I'm really going to miss you.
Well, it's difficult being last when you're trying to recognize somebody that you got fairly close to over the past years. And Judy is that liaison for all of us, and that direct face. And I told her that we needed to find a big way to embarrass her this meeting. And then as soon as Rodney started talking, her head went down and she started hiding behind the screen. So I won't punish her in that way for something that is a good thing for her. And we're excited about your opportunities. We want you to be happy and do what you need to do. But thank you for your service and the time you have spent with us and your patience. And I know Kenny he's already expressed how much he's going to miss you, but we're all going to miss you. And outside of that, Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a happy holidays, and we'll see y'all next year. All right, we'll go into executive session.